Cyclone, having them all say, we're still on the academy team, we're still on the academy team, we're still on the academy team, to take the pressure off, put them in the right mindset here. So let's see. I mean, the academy team has come to life in the real roster. They now control that core with 3. It's the Gambit approach, one might say. And, well, now it's the MOUZ approach. Into donut they go. Frozen, ready to receive. Heat. They are trying to elevate the temperature, at least for the moment. Afro, great shot with the P250. A second player drops. Now A site is lost. They can't deny this bomb plant, but JDC will keep things interesting. It's going to be xertioN with those dualies. I think he's got to be the firepower piece. He's working his way up into donut, but, well, he's going to be alone. So good luck. Fat chance.
Time to bail, I think, xertioN. Wow. Fast round from Heat. Early donut split, and unfortunately for MOUZ, they just couldn't offer a lot of resistance. They looked a little bit out of sorts, out of position. There was nobody in donut at the start. They weren't really contesting mid, so I guess, Mike, they'd done their prep and thought other avenues would be under attack, and unfortunately for them, make the wrong read and made it near on impossible to hold on to that A-bomb site.
Well, nice pistol round for Heat. This is a team, I will say, always ferocious with the pistols, right? Joko has one of the better Deegs, I think, competing here in Pro League. It's one of his real highlights. And I think you're always going to be a little bit wary even when this team's on the half-buy. On the other side, we got Torji on a scout. They'll go for heavy presence on B initially. Bit of a read being made here from MOUZ. They're going for the gamble stack. 4 players in. Utility on xertioN. He's the tip of the spear. Don't love that if he's got the nades. But he's going to start to deploy those. Just 1 smoke remaining. And tag on a Jax means they put them on notice. But meanwhile, Heat could just start to rotate. Need to be careful not to let that bomb get caught. Jax probably doesn't want to stick around. I'll take the firefight for now. And having rebuffed MOUZ further in towards the site, it seems like Heat just wants to duel.
Ooh, bit of damage exchanged. And you can see how off all that B pressure, body's now taking the space in towards window, and he's got a truly massive gap. He can totally cut off these rotations. If they get a good smell that there's still players here on B, A is now completely open for business. xertioN. Oh, that is disgusting.
That was absolutely filthy. xertioN is going to clear that out, but still, even numbers. They're still trying to work their way on towards the B site, but this time it's going to be bodyy who's through mid. This is why they've stuck around. They wanted to work this play. JDC doesn't commit to the rotate. That could have been the saving grace here for MOUZ, but as it is, now his teammates are in a really tough spot, and Torchi's down for the count. JDC will realize his error. Needs to commit back in. Frozen does have a Khalil in cave. That could make things interesting. They don't think he's here. They don't think he's here. And there he's going to strike. First one found for Frozen. 2 more on the table. Good flashbang. No kid as well is going to make this very tough on the timing. And xertioN just wants to be positioned to get right into the fight. Frozen, as soon as he trips into that crosshair, xertioN should strike. And indeed, the 1-2 punch works out beautifully.
Good cleanup in the end. Lost a couple numbers, but what can you do when xertioN's hitting shots like that? Wow. He gave MOUZ a great chance, and unfortunately for them, couldn't quite convert. But yeah, I do always enjoy the xertioN leagues, and that might be a xertioN party piece.
A xertioN party piece. Paul's going to come in here early. Would wager that this is not of a tactical nature. A little bit early to get those going in. So hopefully whatever issue we may have can be resolved pretty quickly. Hear the old typing in the console. Let's see. Let's imagine a scenario right here. Well, the scenario's gone. So whatever it was, someone needed a fresh beverage. Someone needed a quick trip to the loo. Someone needed to untie their mouse cable. Who's to say? What I can say is we don't have to wait very long.
I thought you'd be coming up with these big extravagant reasons for the pauses, Mike. Those sound rather boring.
Well, you know, got to keep it grounded in reality here. Bodyy. Nice kill. It's easier to come up with extravagant excuses for delays when players are at home and any number of things could be happening. Not the case here. Jax with one. Jax a second as well, and this round's not going to get at all interesting. It's the cleanup for Heat. Or JDC. All alone. The lonely life of an A anchor. Normally, the lonely life of a B anchor is what we call this, but this map is backwards.
Still gets me. Still gets me, those bomb sites. And JDC, well, Jocko's got him, so... Good round. I mean, they need to keep a few numbers alive after that second round was oh so close following xertioN shots. As we get into this one, Mac-10's in the mix. We've got a Galil. Give us something spicy, Heat. Let's use these Mac-10s.
Little spice. Little heat. Well, Mac?
Is Afro just dropped to Mac-10 in favor of using a deagle?
I'm not sure, actually. Let's look at it. Let's see what he's going to use. Seems like it. Seems like he's sticking on the deag. Afro knows what he likes. What he likes is crisp, clean headshots. Dexter, though, going to catch Joko. That was just spam through the B main smoke. Beautiful find early on. That helps out MOUZ quite a bit. Might be a bit of misleading information. Keeps these players a little closer in towards B, but as the utility sails in towards A, they'll quickly begin to rotate. And they should be on the scene just in time, at least to lock down mid. Frozen, blinded up, still gets his. The guns are looking good so far. JDC! Turret on the site, leaves just bodyy remaining. And much worse for the wear. bodyy wants no part of this. He's got a minute. And so he's going to leave and try and take advantage of the time. I like this. It'll force MOUZ to spread a little bit more. And he's thinking about the long game as well. Because if he finds another isolated fight, another isolated duel, takes one kill here, you limit that CT economy. You make life difficult for MOUZ. You keep the pressure on. This is a bonus round for Heat. There's a lot more than just this round win to play for. Can't quite bring it through, but he nearly had that fight, Alan.
Wow, that would have been game on. Game on if he found the frag. Unfortunate for Heat, and I think it still shows, Mike, those A executes are still, as much as the temple change gives you one less angle really to worry about, they're still so difficult. So difficult. They did a bit of B pressure off Jocko to try and hold numbers that way, and it worked. They held free B, and even so, the fights are so strong. JDC did work, and they just couldn't break through and get anywhere near a bomb plant.
Dexter. Oh, major pressure on for Dexter. MOUZ have gone light in B for the first time. Dexter's going to get one, but the trade's there. That's fine. Joko as the entry does his job. Pressure in cave. Torji gets away. Shot on, and he escaped. That's huge. The poke back in, maybe a little bit of an overextension, but still pressure in cave is going to make this difficult to plant. They need to get the bomb down, and a flank starting to develop. Wanted to try and prize away a player from the front, but JDC's so ready for this. He's positioned for it. He's set up on the angle and bodyy. He will clear out that one. Actually really did set himself up nicely for the prolonged fight, but doesn't matter. Without a bomb plant here, the money's kind of run out for Heat. They might be able to get a half-buy scrounge together, but this is a chance for MOUZ to build.
Big hold on B. We haven't seen a default yet from Heat. They've been very committed onto these sites. Well, I like that. Towards it, he only found one, but he stayed alive. Bought time for rotates. There was a guy flanking the whole time there, so was never going to go too well for Heat.
That is a surprising amount of damage from a Glock spam through smoke. Will it matter? Probably not. Unless. What's the idea of this boost here? Little vision over the smoke. Okay, I like it for Jax. I like the idea. Not going to work this time, but I like the creativity. Little something in the round. Well, the something is going to be is one flash over this gate here, and then probably swift annihilation. Sweet oblivion headed the way of Heat. Actually, xertioN doesn't just face in. Thought he would just pick them apart. It's torzsi instead to take some pokes, and he's pretty good for it.
Clean hold. MOUZ not putting a single foot wrong. They look great since the rifles have come out. I guess as we get into this one, bit of a focus now on HEET. Of course, their map pick was xertioN. They've had overnight to prep, so not too long. But they obviously knew they're going to be playing xertioN throughout all of today, so a little bit of time to watch MOUZ, come up with some ideas, think about which of our set rounds are going to work. How can we default? How can we deal with players like Frozen who have just been monsters in towards mid?
It is crazy to think about, Frozen being one of the more experienced players on the roster at this point. He's just 20. He's not been on this team for very long, to be quite frank. He's not been competing for very long. It's that's a very promising team. They're building for the future for sure, and dexter and his boys. xertioN? Nice spam, nice find. Doesn't quite crack the site just yet, but look at the pressure it's applied. 2 players in mid. MOUZ want to be able to quickly rotate. That would have been the kill. bodyy can't quite zero it in, but xertioN is there for the mop-up. The alley-oop. Now this sets up an opportunity here towards Zay. MOUZ are very quick to respond. What kind of utility is still available? xertioN's got it, and he's not here. That's the problem. They really need xertioN's smoke to enable a plant. They need xertioN to come into the angle. The longer this waits in the meantime, the messier it gets. Look at the health remaining for this team. Oh, now the rotate off is going to come through. It is a 2-on-2. It's viable, perhaps. And if xertioN actually does work his way through mid, got to be out here. If he finds torzsi, he does indeed. Now it's all on to dexter. He's not close. Gonna be looking for this fight on xertioN, but in the meantime, the ball makes its way over to be planted. Jax is going to beat him on that foot race. It's come down to the 1v1. Happens to squad the veterans. Got to do it.
Oh, Jax wants to fight.
He does. He does. He's coming forward. I like it. Offset the expectation. Try and catch dexter when he's not expecting it. Indeed. Jax finds home.
Well played. So well played from Jax. I was nervous for HEET. In that 3-on-3, it was taking so long for xertioN to get activated. HEET were trying to force out that A-bomb site with just 2 players against more numbers, and it wasn't working. But xertioN, in the end, came into play, and Jax in that afterplant played it perfectly. How else are you going to win on 10 HP? Picks a good timing, just catches the MOUZ player off guard, and spurs HEET even further ahead.
This will be a pause taken presumably by MOUZ to figure out even just their finances into this one, having to spread it around.
I think it's a HEET
bit.
pause, you know. I think it's a HEET pause because their buy isn't great, despite winning the round.
That's interesting. I figured Cyclone would be wanting to get in there early on defense, but HEET having to figure things out as well. But I can always count on you for, Alan. The pause insight. Oh, xertioN. Uh-oh. Come on, he's begging someone to come around this corner. Please come into my crosshair. Please. S'il vous plaît. And there it is. But this time he wasn't ready for it. dexter was happy to give him the peek, happy to give him the fight, and he takes 2.
Oh, it's torzsi.
Oh, shut down here.
JDC's onside as well. Wow. Nothing he can do to react. They're trying to force frags, Mike, after losing the opening, but MOUZ is so ready and playing off each other great.
And Afro's dead. Oh, no. Okay. Thought he was a little wider in that initial peek. But it's still a rather hopeless situation. 30 seconds on the clock. Afro creeping in the mid. The uppercut shot. will actually come from Torsi, a little bit further away. Evened up here, great response from MOUZ, and we talked about how rough the economy was out from HEET in the last round now, Alan. This is maybe seeing their window to get the easy T rounds closing. It's going to be a battle down the stretch of the half at this point.
Credit to Dexter, though. It's really hard playing that ramp side, that B anchor position, because so many times people are going to force fights, try and take duels, and Dexter, despite being the in-game leader, outfrags 2 quick kills and proving himself to be a very capable individual.
First contact. Not expecting too much happening in this round, Alan. Not expecting anything to get too wild and weird. But for your money, since we're watching MOUZ and it's got my thoughts turning towards young, promising players, who's the young, promising player who hasn't got a shot tier 1 who you think's the next one up? Anywhere in the world, any region.
Give me a second. I like Forzy.
Okay.
I believe he's still playing for Sinners. He stepped into that role after Oscar moved away. Have a quick check. I'm pretty sure he still plays for Sinners. He does. Good. Yeah, still plays for Sinners. So Oscar stepped away, and you're thinking, there's not a lot of players in that region. There's not a lot of players in that region that can fill in the shoes of a player as good as Oscar. And Forzy's come alive. He's been excellent over this year. So he's 20 years old now, AWPer for Sinners, and presumably has really great English. So I think he could do great on kind of high level teams.
I like it. Next one tabbed in. We'll have to see. It does feel like this last year, 2 years, has been such a changeover of the talent pool in terms of these young players coming out of nowhere and really asserting themselves. So many fresh faces. I love it. I really do. I know it's always fun to watch the old legends. But I like to see the turnover. Torsi, one of the new legends, will not escape Afro's wrath. So that's a nice find. His kill could be huge if Afro can see it. Oh, no, the nade will chase. Well held by xertioN. The spam damage wasn't good. It didn't connect, and now advantage MOUZ. So spread around the map are HEET. Every one of these players is isolated. Maybe they can group up in mid for a little bit of a fight combined. But it seems like they're just going to trust xertioN to come up with something. And he's been spotted, and he's lost most of his life here. Jax.
Ooh, Dexter picked.
Yeah,
Dexter, he must be making information play. Wow. Big trade.
xertioN will fall back as a result. The French squad seem to focus their efforts here towards B.
Oh, xertioN's on such an island. Wow, MOUZ have no information. Nobody's spotting anything. First they'll know is when nades start landing on this B bomb site.
Body's a lot of info peeking out of cave. Here comes the smoke. Does that bring the rotation already? JDC starts to float. He wants to secure mid so that xertioN can look forward. But he's even hesitant to do so. That's a lucky find. Okay, xertioN. Someone check him PC. And hearing the second player drop as well. Now he's got the information. Now that triggers the full rotate. And MOUZ, fortunate. I mean, they won their scratch off, right? They just got a real lucky ticket back into this round. Shucks. Look at the health. Look at the health. These players are a wisp away from death. They can't hang on here, and it's going to be the overwhelm. Okay, xertioN. What a way to get the team back into the round.
Great round from him. That first kill out of Jaguar was excellent. Need to finish it off, and he was a little bit left out to dry. He had to play retake. He was completely on his own. Guess that little bit fortunate kill through the smoke, but I guess decent game sense to know a player could be crossing towards the plant spot and another on the retake. So yeah, xertioN, I think he's still. I mean, this is a big jump up. It's his first big event on MOUZ. We shouldn't expect too much, but that's what he showed in the Academy League. This guy is insane.
Yeah, he is. Second time out used by HEET here, so you were correct. That first one did come from the HEET side.
I know my pauses.
you do know your pauses. You're a pause pro. How do you make the big bucks? Pause analyst. If we get to a point where, like, you know, I don't know if they do this for like the footy in your side, but football in the US now, they've got, you know, broadcast teams are so expansive that there's a guy who's just a former ref who comes in to talk about penalties and like analyze what penalty might be called when a flag gets thrown. What if they just had you on a desk where anytime a pause gets called in, it's like, let's go to Alan Henner to talk about the pauses. You just come in and you're like, yeah, this pause has been taken for X and X reason, and I really like the choice. Dexter might need a bit of a pause right now, but he says, hey, timeout, I'm going to kill everybody. No pause needed. He's cool under pressure, and somehow limps away with 2 points of health.
MOUZ have been so clean on these anti-ecos. Wow. Seemingly every time they keep numbers alive, their kind of protocols, anti-eco particularly, on those bomb sites must be great. They must have, you know, predetermined plans for... and teams really go to this level, Mike, of if we get rushed on B, where are you going to play? What nades are you going to throw? How can we work together? And if those protocols are even a tiny bit off, you get absolutely wrecked by those fast rounds. The MOUZ have done their homework.
Look at how vocal xertioN's being when his cam comes up. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the player cam, because that's one of the things that I love. When you can see a player talking, communicating what they're hearing, communicating what they're seeing early on, that can be one of the trickiest parts about moving up to the next level, right? But presumably that existing confidence and that existing chemistry with his teammates from back in the NXT days has really smoothed over the transition. And I think you've seen it with all of the MOUZ NXT players as they've moved up. I think Cyclone being present and having their teammates on the team now makes that a smoother transition. They do lose Dexter, so a chance at least for HEET. They're still down a man, but it seems like they're going to group up again for this B hit, and we're going to see if xertioN can answer the call once more.
Okay, so they hear the B retake. Frozen's now taking some information saying, guys, there's nothing mid. And he's fast flanking. Is anybody holding this? One player is. That's Jax looking this way. Oh, they're boosting. Almost caught. Torzi hits the deck. Big frag. And xertioN again left alone. Frozen's a little bit of a way off. And xertioN, biding his time, peeks out. Afro's ready. 2v2. But Frozen still, he's so fast on this flank.
Not fast enough, though. Not fast enough. Utility timing could be brutal. Not around the corner. And that's a big kill for JDC. Puts the pressure on Afro. He's already delivered every kill in this round, but he needs the ace. And Frozen finds him with his back turned. Missed opportunity here for HEET. Afro put in so much work with that AWP to try and give them the chance. And a little pat on the back there. Because it is a MOUZ to take an 8th.
Deadly pat. Deadly pat as Frozen, what a round.
Blood brothers, you know?
Certainly now. But yeah, Frozen, you might have missed it, but he threw his own smoke out of the window and played around. He can force some great one-ways. Got a couple frags. Had xertioN dealing pressure as well out of Jaguar in that mid area, especially since the changes. Absolute killing zone. Fast mid stalled out. Look at the util damage. HEET still going to commit. These HP bars are already rock bottom.
Ooh, they get out. They get out with most of their lives. But yeah, they've been brutalized here. And again, it seems like, okay, so the tendency so far, this game, Alan, has been try something in mid or A. Doesn't work. B hit.
That's old school ancient, so...
Joker's just heard Dexter clear back in towards Jaguar. That's a little bit of information. Does that coax them off? Nope. Flash through. Here we go. Here's the move. Afro down for the count. And his teammates didn't go with him. But now it seems like they might just all die alone. Body's still stuck here. He's in a 1v1. He's got the bomb. If he goes down, round is basically lost. And Dexter will do him that service. So xertioN, yeah, you got mid control. But can't really do anything with it. And checked. Dead. Dexter's playing a nice game here on B.
He is indeed. That anchor spot is hard, as I was saying. And also in this round, xertioN died earlier. And Dexter had to be on the move, had to pick up Jaguar and lock down such an important position. Still, though, MOUZ with a great read. Maybe coming into the round, maybe saw the fast mid nades coming over, but they dished out so much damage. Molotovs, HEs. Nothing he could do as they tried to burst out. So, yeah, if I'm he, I am nervous about going mid for these final 2 rounds.
Jack's gonna try and just absolutely rip that shot. Nope, never mind. Not gonna happen. Got one try at it. They'll put him back up. Oh, catches a nade. Not the ideal time for this particular boost. Is there another nade back here? There is. xertioN. Oh, he's gonna throw it. Dex is on the line. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. HE's gonna come through. Might be a bit of a Kobe situation. No, okay. Dexter shows restraint. Come on, pull the pin. Pull the pin. Yes. Yes. Yeah, throw it. Throw the nade. Come on. Oh, no. I'm getting blue util. Way too late. Way too late. That could have been a twofer.
I do hope blue util catches on as the technical term. Should say it more.
That is me every time I see a nade on the minimap. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a chunky nade, and it does nothing. Which is just about every 2 out of 3 nades in CS. Minimap misleading.
Gonna say, you'll be blue a lot of the time.
This is the best B take.
Oh, good flash.
Haven't really given him a fight. This flash is meaty. Push through doesn't work, but I like the play. And now they're going to start to get cleaned up. Joko and Jax make things interesting. Just on to Joko now, and he knows his days are likely numbered. Got to dance around this square to try and keep things alive. They'll defuse right under his nose. Nothing he can do about that one. The round, never in doubt for MOUZ, but at least a bomb plant for HEET will give them some money heading into last.
This has been 10-1 since HEET converted their pistol round. MOUZ have been dominant since the guns have come out. HEET, they've tried a lot of different looks, mainly grouping early and trying to hit sites, and MOUZ have had their number every time. We haven't seen a great deal of slow default rounds. They've never truly won out these kind of B map control mid trades and get into a good position. It's just been MOUZ dominant, xertioN and Frozen truly combining to make it so difficult to get any control.
This could be interesting for Afro. If xertioN actually tries to go around. He's not going to, though. Unfortunate. Won't get to test the combat op here up close. Kind of a shotgun angle, but with the op. Oh, the timing is brutal. Out of bullets is Dexter. The shorter A1S clip. Catching him. But he still finds a lot of information for the team. Once again, it does seem like HEET are going to go back to Old Faithful. I'd say Old Reliable, but Alan, it hasn't been.
Torzy off. Jax is on the angle. Wow. I can't believe Torzy survived that. xertioN now aware of what's up and he wants to fight, Mike. He wants to fight. He wants to fight and he can't win it. Exercise as well. Claims another. That's in towards Donut. This is a messy round. Bomb still out of the B doors.
They got to go get it. They got to go get it.
Yeah, A is actually open for business.
They're trying to work the player through mid, but Exorcise has just been collected, so they don't have that anymore, and they don't have the presence towards A. For all they know, Torzy begins the rotation. He doesn't. It's bodyy instead, but bodyy! JDC knows. JDC knows. What a brilliant play. The patience from JDC. Backs turned, and he'll seal the deal on 11-4 half to send us to the break. And we're back into it here. Nice first half for MOUZ, especially considering the start for HEET, but it was all domination down the stretch for the MOUZ team, and now it's going to be up to HEET to mount a defense.
Well, indeed. 8 on the trot to close out the first half for MOUZ, and HEET had a couple rounds that went close, but MOUZ looked a step ahead. They looked like a team that, despite some recent troubles on Ancient, they're well versed. xertioN looks like he was well adapted to playing Jaguar on CT, and, well, T-side could be a different story, but you'd be hard pressed to find any flaws with MOUZ at the moment.
Tap goes the Torzy. Molotov in for xertioN, who is burning. Flashbang to bail him out, but Trade's been here. They want this fight. They don't want to let xertioN escape, but he's done so. Look at this double push out of A main. Oh, Afro's going to have the flank. Afro's going to have the flank. There's no way they expect this. And Afro wants two. He's got one. The second comes through, and that's a brilliant play from HEET. They've denied the space. Bomb plant might still go in because it's just Jax to defend B. MOUZ found the soft side, attacking all that presence in towards mid, and Jax, well, he will get his. Sets up his team for this retake, and while he will falter, give the information away. Frozen, though, has other things in mind. This block might be enough, but the Afro Doolies chew through for their third victim, so HEET now find another pistol round. This is their second pistol round of the map. This time, we'll see if they can build a little further.
That call to flank from A was so quick. Wow. They must have already had players pushed up into A main, because that sprung almost immediately, and there was nothing MOUZ could do once that came in.
Aggression down mid.
A round. It's a big deal, though. They haven't showed this is a buy yet.
Yeah, this is the trickiest of rounds, right? To get the bomb plant, though. It's got to be the expectation here for HEET, and that's the find. JDC drop, pressure on towards AX. He has to withdraw off the angle. Doing great work. Bailing out, catching these shots. Shot and drop, shot and drop. Yeah, there's a smoke in towards Donut, but it's still going to be a tricky plant for Frozen, and he's wary of the spam coming through. That's a collection on the first. But Frozen now push forward. Now with the smokes fading, what do they want to do? Could actually theoretically try and battle back in towards spawn. Especially with the player now surrounding them from A main. His first duel is huge. Nice kill on Joko. Just walks out. Just walks out. And this should no longer be within the realm of possibility. Torzy would have to be impeccable. And he's just not going to be given the opportunity.
MVP, though, has to be xertioN, though, doesn't it? Exec comes in, he's the sole player on the bomb site. He finds one, backs off, gets another, and then sticks around and is an absolute nuisance. I'm sure MOUZ wanted to take into Temple and have that control. But xertioN said no, stood his ground, rotates come in, and from there, especially once those smokes are fading, I'm sorry, but A bomb site is just absolutely impossible. Impossible to take. And yeah, HEET made it look a little easy.
Deep smoke here for HEET. Not expecting a whole lot out from MOUZ. Or discount the Deeg, but you know what? I'm going to discount the Deegs. I'm going to say it's not happening. I know, bold prediction here, Alan, but I'm brave like that.
I remember a Torzy Deeg. And he doesn't have one, so
you won't we
need one of these guys to die and give it over.
I mean, they've already lost JDC, so I think he's going to go get the Deeg. Here's a Torzy Deeg.
Nice, right, here we go.
5 bullets.
He's inscribed each of the HEET players onto each of the bullets.
Yeah, he only needs 5. First one, it is an isolated fight with xertioN. He's been left with responsibility for A again. Torzy, here's the chance. Torzy, creeping around. xertioN's watching it. There's the shot. Not going to hit. Okay, I don't remember a Torzy Deeg. Don't remember any deeks out from MOUZ. It's a clean round for Heat.
Okay, well. It was a rough end to the first half, but you got to give them credit. They're up to 7, stronger half. Money is looking good. A little bit of questions now to be asked of MOUZ and where this T side's going to be at. I'd love to see how xertioN approaches this. Of course, we heard from Cyclone that the roles were kind of a big deal with the biomass xertioN swap. So, how's xertioN going to fit into this T side?
He's not going to fit into this round. I'll tell you that much. Just the shot timing hit through. xertioN, well, hit the bench. Hit the bench. That's a great way to get going. I mean, this is theoretically the limited round. It's pretty dang good, but you do have a couple Galils out. Not apparently a worrying factor here for Heat. xertioN is deep controlling towards A main as well. That's going to be such great warning.
Afro is so mobile. Look at him.
He's just moving. He's just moving. This time he's been caught. No longer so mobile. Timing going to be everything here. xertioN has been caught. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Getting away. Going to be tricky. Smoke goes down. Trying to bail. Commits into the fight. They're going to think he's retreated, but JDC has the presence of mind to check in the clear. Or Torzi having found another kill. This now becomes very scary for Heat. You'll see them push in. You'll see them emphasize the B site because if it goes to A, as it's going to do, they're going to save Allen.
Can't blame him. I can't believe how quickly that fell apart. Afro, I think in this downtime, he'll be rethinking that re-aggression. I like the angle of being proactive, but maybe that was a little bit too much. MOUZ seems to be well prepared for it. Cost him his life. xertioN equally gets caught aggressively on A, and wow, the round just falls apart because he allowed too many fights.
Well, here's where the bank drains. For Heat, they've taken the timeout, 3rd to 4, knowing that this is a round upon which much rests. They're going to drain that bank. They're going to put the gamble onto this one. And if MOUZ can crack through, we might just have to start thinking about map number 2.
Bit of a timeout, quick discussion. As you mentioned, total key round, probably a quick reflection on the previous and how that can be avoided. And how do they approach this? It's been fairly standard CT stuff outside of xertioN and Afro.
Is Frozen just warming up his flicking spawn? Is that what's going on here? Just flicking to his teammates' heads. It's like revving the engine, you know?
Do you remember when Gade used to do snap to things in spawn?
Gotta keep those fingers hot. Joko might be feeling the heat here. Pressure on. Jax has been collected. Aggressive posturing outside of Jaguar. And Joko doesn't want to fall back. He still wants the heat. But look at this positioning for xertioN. XOC strikes in mid. That might put too much comfort in their minds. And indeed, bodyy checking one way, gets shot from the other. So advantage here for MOUZ, and the positioning is nightmarish. Joko's going to try and take ground, recognizing that this is a tough spot. And he's just going to push it in spawn. The Madman is chasing. The Madman is chasing. And he's caught someone. So now they know a player's out of position. That might need to hold JDC here, but losing xertioN means they have nothing towards A. Nothing whatsoever. And they know Joko can't do anything about this. He's so far back. He's not going to be in the donut. He's not going to be the threat just yet. There's so much information available for MOUZ. This bomb's now down and ticking away. And Heat have a really tough choice.
It's got to be the save. You can see with the pace they're playing with here. Few intentions to go for this unless players overface, and that's not going to happen. MOUZ have rooted into their afterplant positions. And wow, what an aggressive round. Mike Dexter gets all the way to under that catwalk, jumps up, surprises the first. Meanwhile, xertioN's in the red room. Heat just had no eyes on mid. They just left it completely open, and MOUZ fully exploited, and I guess also xertioN in terms of answering where his roles are at. take space, aggressive frags, lurking at times. This guy is showing a comprehensive, showing himself to be quite a complete player. Oh, forcing. Here, forcing.
All right. Risky. Risky, but they're going to try and regain some momentum here. What does the XM play? xertioN is going to bring that XM into A main. He's up on the tree spot. Yeah, I guess it can work there. Certainly, if they come out A main, he can definitely get this. If they come out donut, not so much. But an XM is always going to be a little bit of a gamble in terms of how you set up. They'll leave him alone as well. They're going to go for the stack on towards B. One player mid. And xertioN with a world on his shoulders. And responsibility for A. Can't say I envy him that responsibility.
Control out for MOUZ, but look at the heat reaction. Afro's pushing down, but Torzy's ready. So ready. Wow, Jocko legged as well. Chase down Torzy.
What do you even do here now? If you're Heat, they're going to redouble the 2 rifles in towards sight, but they're going to need a hero play from somebody. Even if they're good, even if they trade these out, it just doesn't matter. They don't have the firepower for this, and now they're even going to spread a little bit thinner. Seems like this is maybe going to be the save call, maybe going to be the stat call. That's got to be a tough pill for the French side to swallow here.
Almost heading A.
Oh, okay. All right. They're actually bringing the fight. MOUZ maybe misreading the situation, thinking that the reinforcements are on site. Let's see if xertioN can get it done with the XM. Oh, he gets the first. That's a shocker. And now, into the firing line, they've gone. Quickly recovering here. Need to deal with Jax on the site. Planting right under his nose. That's bold. And it will cost them. A 1v2 for Torzy. The bomb to play off of. No smokes on the Heat side, so they will eventually have to test him. But this is way closer than it had any right to be in Heat. They want to see if they can take it through. Torzy says no. A Colat to pick up his 3rd and 4th kill with 1 bullet.
We asked the question before the map, Mike. Where's Torzy been in Pro League? Well, he's had enough of those questions being asked. This time ready for the aggression, and despite Heat making the right read, stacking the right site, Torzy absolutely bails them out at the end. Wow. Wow, Torzy. He's arrived to play today.
Well, MOUZ are hunting for map point here. And Heat panic. Well, the way to shake this MOUZ side is looking so very polished, so very put together. The impressive part has been that they don't... I mean, they don't really need the individual over performances because they've been such a complete picture. But then in that round, when it finally goes off the rails, when there's finally an opportunity for Heat, Torzy just steps up and puts it away.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if they had lost that round, Mike, I would have sat here and said, MOUZ didn't really get anything wrong. They just guessed the wrong site in the end. Their fakes didn't pull enough players. And that's just how Counter-Strike works. But it doesn't matter because Torzy just wins. Torzy wins.
Torzy just wins. He just wins. And you could say, I mean, for the Heat side as well, right? Once you get that situation, the 2v1 without a smoke with the bomb down, you know he has an op. You can't just try and plant it. Maybe they shouldn't have lined up, but how else are you going to approach that donut?
No.
They were assuming he would hold the angle and they double swing on spacing, right?
They played it perfectly. What's your option? Someone sticks? Okay, yeah. He's dead. He's dead. You have to try and double peek, and of course there's a little bit of luck with the timing to make it a double. Is xertioN going to chain together? No, he doesn't. One dig shot is nice, but I don't think it's going to have great consequence on where this round's headed.
I think you can see the resignation starting to creep on in, though. Bodyy wants to keep the doubts in mind. But Torzy isn't missing much. At this point, Joko's got an AK. And he's got 3 players to find and a bomb to defuse. So taking this path tells me he's not going to try and do that. And instead, we'll keep this AK in the last round. It's a smart call. But it is a bit of desperation for Heat, as they will need to string together 8 rounds in a row to find overtime.
Tough pill to swallow. Reminder as well, this is Heat's map pick. Yet to play... Is it Vertigo? They haven't played. No, it was Inferno, but they haven't played at all with Jax. So, yeah, only 4 maps in the last 3 months. Okay, sorry, yeah, they have played it with Jax. They just lost it twice. So, it's scary. It's really scary, and you know, MOUZ is playing an excellent game, but equally, they've kind of showed us nothing. It's a little bit depressing to say. It's just felt so flat, this performance. I expected more because I know how great CS these guys can pull out at times.
It's a nice nade. Not as chunky as one would perhaps expect. They were kind of past it. Triple boost. Okay. All right. Get weird with it. Go off, Afro. Go off. He's positioning himself. It's actually being watched for. He spots the head. Spots the top of Torsi. Waiting for that bow. Oh, just spots a scrap of cloth, and he's got it. He's got it. Torsi collected there. Now an advantage given over for Heat off of a cheeky triple boost. Exorcise is playing an odd angle in the smoke. That's going to work out as well. So the boosts come out in force for Heat, and they work beautifully. MOUZ left wondering where they've even been shot from. It's a bit chaotic. But he cannot let this round get out of hand. They finally got an advantage. They finally got something.
We've already seen over-aggression cost him once. It simply can't happen again.
Look at the spot for Dexter, too. Dexter's through mid. Dexter's through mid. He's in the back lines. Jax hasn't spotted. He thinks it's clear. He thinks it's clear. The timing is going to be brutal here. Frozen already on the angle. Jax, which way you look, and he's got it. Game sense on point there for Jax. And now MOUZ are stuck in the cave with nothing to work with. $10 seconds. I suppose with loss bonus actually being what it is, the save's not a bad idea.
Yeah, JDC can drop and still get nades, so... Makes sense. Makes sense. We don't see that triple boost that often. I'm quite confident xertioN brought it out first. I think he did it at the RMRs. That was the first time we saw this boost. No, it's just before the RMRs. I think it might have been Pro League playoffs. Irrespective, we don't see it a lot. And it's actually a great angle onto an AWPer that's trying to hold that side. So, I like it. Good call.
Time ticking down here. Pressure on. A reminder that with his win in this series, MOUZ guarantee themselves the first spot, the #1 seed out of this group, and a path straight through the first round of playoffs. It's pretty ideal. Heat, aggression going on here. Bodyy wants to push into the elbow. A lot of utility being dumped here, and Bodyy won't actually go for it. Instead, they're going to go for the window fight. Oh, this is spicy. I like it. I like it. Heat are being so proactive on their CT side, knowing that they have nothing to lose at this point. The question's going to be if the timing comes back in on that elbow face. What could MOUZ find? Focused up on this window fight. That's a shot to the cheek of Dexter. He's lucky to live. Must have caught a brick, but Bodyy will put him down. Massive play from the captain. Now MOUZ on the back foot once again. Limited in what they can possibly do within this one. Left reeling. Well, they got to regroup and regain.
Bomb just collected. Dexter frozen. They're over towards B. it was inevitable they're going to try and force some fights, but now it's got a lot more difficult. Afro's here. Afro's over. There's 3 on this site. He a great read, and they're so confident with it. Oh, Frozen, you've got to do God's work. You've got to do God's work, and Jax... Oh, I'll call it out, Mike. That's overzealous. If that punishes them, big moment.
By the sword, die by the sword, I suppose, and the aggression starting to cost them a little bit. Afro dancing around the pillar. Do they realize it? They've got one. Now they know his spot, but this is so tough. The flashbang's good. Frozen tries the hero play. It's not going to happen here. He clawing this one back bit by bit by bit.
Bodyy.
That was a great face for Bodyy. Probably should have been dead to the second player, but the bricks give him the cover.
Yeah, it's such a, for lack of a technical term, a ratty angle. You don't expect it, that's for sure. And Heat piled on the aggression there. They just took the fight everywhere. Hadn't seen that so far this half, and I want to see more of it.
Ouch. For exertion. They're just going to try and overwhelm xertioN. It's the right spot to pick. They know xertioN plays as an anchor. And he's very isolated. The aggression from Heat means they don't have bodies close in hand even to rotate. Here comes the util. Heat's going to start the bailout. But if someone checks back flat, xertioN isn't checked, and he'll take all 5.
B?
Why, he's the anchor, Alan.
Is indeed. Is indeed reliable. Ever reliable. And... yeah, xertioN came in, replaced NBK on this team when it was double pony, and there were a few questions about you're losing a player like NBK. What can xertioN bring in instead? And truly grown into some of these roles.
Early kill found for Bodyy. Aggression still paying off this mid-fight. They've been so frisky with it. They've been taking it to him every round, and Heat, since they've played this more dynamic style, of really stymied MOUZ early on.
Yeah, you remember at the start of the half how many rounds MOUZ got space for free in mid, and have lurkers in window. You're coming off onto that B catwalk, and I guess Heat have adapted. Seen enough rounds, and Bodyy especially knows what's up.
You know, the idea in that pistol round, not this round, but the previous, right? I actually like it. They know that xertioN plays so isolated. Yes, he catches them off and kills them all that time, but they were just unarmored pistol players. If they just go for the full 5-man A hit, right? Go 1-for-1 with xertioN. Pretty tough for Heat to get back into that round. Little awkward boost mechanics going on in here. Pressure up the window. That's the bomb drop. Now they have to swing back in to try and clear this. Straight into the off, which JDC will remove. Now they got a player stuck here. They're waiting for the fight to come back in, knowing that Bodyy's going to be tempted by the peak. But 30 seconds. 30 seconds. If they're going to go, they got to get a move on. Rotation options now limited. They'll start to clear on in. Bodyy's rotating off. He's wary that they could get out mid. Bring pressure through Donut. So we'll just be these two players for the cave fight. Nice kill. Jax the second as well. Brilliant play off of Joko's flash. And Frozen, I mean, 10 seconds. He can't do anything about this. It might just go down. Hopefully not after time. But Joko coming into his crosshair. We'll get the cleanup.
Wow, Heat are making a real game of this. It's not just the round wins. MOUZ is scarcely getting any bomb plants. Seen so few after plants. They can't even get map control right now without losing heaps of numbers. And even towards the end there, quick call from Jax, flash from Joko. Those players in dark are dead to rights. They can't see anything. They're dabbing. Jax is fragging.
Dabbing and fragging. The Heat way.
We haven't even fallen into the trap yet of saying they're bringing the heat.
I think I mentioned something about turning up the temperature at one point. It's as close as I like to get with it.
We don't like to be basic here on the C stream.
It's so hard to stay away from it with Heat. They're like big in that regard. You just fall into it.
If Heat played Rare Atom and Mercury was playing, wow, we could have a lot of fun.
Little nuclear heat. xertioN lost. xertioN again, making very good on his position towards A. This round isn't looking promising for MOUZ right off the jump. They're again going to go for pressure outside of B. This next gun round, right? This next gun round. Just want to see MOUZ do something interesting. I feel like they've got to. I feel like they've got to get creative at this point. Because all of the initiative has been seized by HEET for the last few. MOUZ have just been playing very stale for the most part. And it's not exactly been working out. So, what do you do as the T side?
I think... So since the changes around this catwalk where the boxes were removed, teams have these B defaults where they throw a smoke towards the top of the lane. And that denies the mid players coming off as well as the players swinging out Jaguar and having good fights. I think you need to start defaulting like that if you're MOUZ, because HEET and bodyy in particular are so confident taking mid fights. I mean, that's one choice. Your other choice is to play super slow and then come back in for mid and be a little bit later. Maybe Pro Bayatad. Just because body's killing you every time you're trying to get out mid. So that's just absolutely off limits.
Well, they're not going to do anything too interesting in this one. This does look like the default.
Yeah, they're playing out though. Look how passive.
Oh, Afro. Oh, he's been deleted. There's the erase. xertioN is there as the backstop. But they do lose Afro early on in the round. It is the passive hold. It is the slower hold. Haven't collected that OPA though. That removes some of HEET's ability to get aggressive. That removes some of their ability to roam around the map. They don't seem to agree with me though, because they're going to double push in towards A main and take this space. And that'll give a ton of information over. Look at xertioN.
Bomb is in a different postcode.
He's gonna... Yeah, but they're gonna push it. If he dies, rough. But how on earth could they possibly be expecting to check this? Well, if they just go through mid, they don't have to. And now he's just gonna group up with his team, and they're a man down going for a B take. Which, surprise, they've been doing that a lot. Really don't love this round for MOUZ. But if at first you don't succeed, try the same thing again. And body's heard this all the way. xertioN, about to be dead for free. Somehow not. Backstab coming in. Oh, he's just giving bodyy the slip. Bodyy won't let him get too far.
Scoreline was, I want to say, 15-7.
Yes.
For MOUZ.
That was the scoreline.
Wow. We need some pauses. Yeah, only second pause taken. Were opportunities for others, and they need a quick conversation. Still no bomb plants. They're already echoing for round 30 here, I think. Pistol armor force by his best case scenario, but they need to have an early discussion. That round looked good. Early trade in A main. 4-on-4. Decent space across the map. It was just so disjointed. Bomb was in spawn. They were laying nades down on B. I haven't enjoyed the counter-strike from MOUZ on this T side. And, well, could be an overtime if they don't find a fix.
All right, hear me out, MOUZ. Do the run A strat again. You got better guns this time. You got some util. You can actually section on a bomb plant. They're not going to do that. They're going to run B. Fast play in towards B, it seems. At least they're going to make a faster play. At least they're willing to do something, considering it's just the pistols. That nade's going to chew him up. Afro's found first contact. Joko is mowing him down. And this round is looking like it's not even getting past the entryway. Dorji, surprised he hasn't burned here, but he will swiftly be cleaned up. 3 nice kills for Afro. And they disintegrate on approach to B. They are very determined that B is going to be the site that sees their salvation.
Yeah, and he made the read. They played an anti-rush setup. That setup is designed for just that hit. They knew it was a pistol armor, and they were so ready. Wow. HEET making great calls. Round 30. Who on earth would have thought we'd be here 15 minutes ago? And HEET on their map pick have brought it all the way back. One more required for OT.
Now we get the A strat. Now we get the A play.
Afro's
Okay.
here.
All right.
Afro's here.
And look at this. I mean, the read is here for Heat, right? They've got heavy presence. Body's been denied space in towards mid. The utility's here, so they're going to anticipate this A play coming through. Afro takes first contact. And here comes the play. Here comes it in, and they're just disjointed. They're being picked apart one by one by one. They're not getting an answer. The lineup is there for Ecstasies. He wants to dive in for more. It's all falling apart. Torzy in a 1v4 to try and deny overtime. And this isn't looking possible. She will take the play. They have to avoid giving him too many isolated angles, but Afro is good for it. We're getting more. We're going to OT.
Sometimes I like the way you try, even though you know you will fail. Sometimes I give you hope before I take it all away from you. I'll never let you. I hear your steps and every move you make. I'm always one step ahead. I smell your fear, your tired sighs are music to my ears. I'll never let you win. I feel you caving in. I'll never let you win. I feel you caving in. I never get tired taking down your empire. I feel alive in the middle of the crossfire. I am the wall you'll never penetrate. I am the living will to dominate. I am the wall you'll never penetrate. I am the living will to dominate. I am the wall you'll never penetrate. I am the living will to dominate. I'll never let you win. I feel you caving in. I'll never let you win.
Well, we weren't ready to settle this in regulation. MOUZ looking flat on their attacking half, and Heat run it back 8 rounds in a row. Not a bomb plant allowed in that time as well. And Heat find OT on their map pick here, Alan.
I know the rough part of our OT format is MOUZ is still on the T side.
Yep.
So that storyline continues, and I imagine a pretty lengthy discussion between regulation and overtime about what to change, and my god, do they have to alter so much to make this work.
Focusing on the mid fight, it seems. Dodging the heaps of util coming out from Heat. But I like this change up. Bodyy had his way with them in mid in so many rounds. And this time, Well, they've cut a lot of HEs, but they're going to focus on trying to bring back this space. Body's under pressure. Been good for it. How does he still have more nades? They've just dropped all of their HEs for body. That's the third nade he individually has thrown. Now he'll withdraw. They've gained mid, though. They finally gained mid. This is eluded MOUZ through so much of regulation. So this seems to be the change-up. This seems to be what they discussed, is emphasizing this mid control, taking the space. Now seeing what it can get them. Put so much pressure on the B players. Afro has to float back to respect it. Body's even maybe going to come back to support him. Opens up possibilities for MOUZ.
B space being taken. As they're coming off catwalk, bomb is heading towards Donut. JDC's clearing. Donut now being taken, and actually there's nobody on the vicinity. Exercise boosted. Thankfully, Body's around, but there's a lot of space given over. I think they're going to get blindsided by these Donut players. Exercise, though, wins the fight. Backs into A main. At least now he's a position to play from.
xertioN pulls that trigger a little early. They know he's here, though. Now they have to focus on it. They have to consider it. It's going to slow them down. Big kill. A main cleared out. They know where the bulk of these CTs are. They know where they're playing from. They've got Donut control. They got A main control. It's just the Tomb and CT they have to worry about. Such a tough retake for HEET. Their options limited. They're sectioned off. With that first body dropping, that might just spell the end of this. 12.5. There is theoretically a world where you save, but it's not going to be this one. It's going to be a spray down, and MOUZ finally get the T-side round that's eluded them.
Yeah. Get some space. Make HEET uncomfortable. And it's always amazing, isn't it, how that little break before overtime can just allow people to breathe and think in a way they can't when the rounds are ticking by and you're just losing and you're just getting absolutely kind of meat grinded for each of the rounds. So I like that. Change of pace. Maybe MOUZ are going to make a similar call again.
Joko. The flash is there, but the kill is not. Frozen patient off of it. Oh my goodness. That one stings to lose. Joko trying to get so aggressive on it, and he has not had a lot of success in those fights. The trade available. Nice one found, but xertioN comes back into the angle, and this time he's got an AWP. Double up. There's a change up in the look, and Afro will catch on the other side of the map. So advantage found for HEET. But JDC's position could be huge. xertioN is dancing with the devil here in Donut. And Torzi will not come out on top. xertioN has been such a massive piece, locking down A. And he's doing it again. It says 28th kill, JDC in the back lines. Might find Afro for free. He doesn't have control of the bomb, and Afro will not miss his.
Well, double AWP from HEET. We didn't see that in regulation. Switch up, and MOUZ weren't ready for that. JDC took way too long to activate an A main. Maybe he was scared of meeting that AWP of xertioN, but he needed to help his teammate. There was a window there if they could drop xertioN and get the bomb, but too slow to activate.
Util dumped in. Trying to soak up some presence here. Look at this aggression out from HEET. They've just taken full control outside of B. Every angle they've pressed, they've pressured. The response here may just be to go in towards A, but at least for now, the MOUZ players are sticking around. They're not beginning to rotate. They're not going fast off of it.
Yeah, you just need to be calm. You've got a massive utility advantage. Truly enormous. So just bide your time, and the key part is to be so careful as you clear back in for this control, because there's so many positions opened up for HEET by the aggression.
Afro's going to have to deliver it. Util coming over. Molotovs, but the shot is still there. The sightline available. And now while Afro's been pressured off, he might call the rotations over. There's still presence. They've got to be wary. Mid, Joko. At any time could peer up that window. And Afro's posted back on the angle. These mollies haven't cleared him. He's going to get another. He is punishing them here with this AWP. Afro been playing this ramp perfectly. And Joko being thrown towards mid. What are they going to do? Finally, they've killed the boogeyman. Well, it does leave bodyy a little bit isolated on site, but rotations are coming. They're fast and thick. And bodyy, well, they're not even going to clear him. So that makes life a little bit easier. And that means that HEET get the advantage as we head into the second half of OT.
This is it's looking great for HEET. Joko. Wow. Yeah. HEET, I'm impressed. I'm so impressed. They look unbelievably flat at the end of that first half of regulation. Nothing seemingly could go right. MOUZ winning every duel, getting all the map control, and since the sides have been reversed. Wow, that storyline has changed.
We'll see if MOUZ can regain a little bit of that momentum here. It's going to be fast. He want to waste no time. They know all the energy is with them, and those flashbangs are punishing. Straight out onto site. JDC overwhelmed. Not even a chance to shoot back here. And they're continuing forward. xertioN might have been a little bit overzealous. They do need to get this bomb planted. But the timing, no one's watching. No one's watching. Jax just walks through. Now the donut play comes in, but it's the only thing that remains. It's just going to be left to xertioN. Well, this is going to be map point given back the other way. And that's exactly what it is. 2 chances, 2 bites at the apple to close this one, to put this away, to go up 1-0 in the series.
Fearless. Utterly fearless from HEET. I mean, contrast these T-sides, Mike, in overtime. You didn't see anything like that from MOUZ. There was no aggression. And HEET just take an aggressive AWP spawn, send it with the flashes, granted an entry. Afro, 31 frags, leading the way on the server. And he hands HEET 2 chances to win their map pick.
They're just going to go right back to it. They're just going to go right back to it. They sense weakness here towards A. They want to put the pressure onto JDC. This time, JDC's a little bit more prepared. Doesn't want to get caught flat-footed. And Frozen's into the angle. Frozen. So much damage, but Afro lives. He'd have been stumped a little bit. They might withdraw. They got a player up on tree. They're going to leave Jax here. Afro to play off him with the AWP. They just want to wheel somebody back into Jax's crosshair. As they clear for the information, this is going to be a really valuable position if they eventually think it's clear.
Joko's also playing on B.
This is getting
Look
weird.
how the map is segregated. 2 lurkers looking for fights.
This is going to get real weird. Jax is caught. He's got his. Does that call them back over? No, but it does pull the rotates. Cheeky boost here for xertioN. Wants to stick on. It does mean that they don't have any vision into the Jaguar, though, and so when the hit comes through, he doesn't just go 1 for 1. This might set them up. 40 seconds, a beat put into this. Jack's working his way all the way back in towards spawn. He's a man behind enemy lines, and now they've spotted the boost. xertioN has come off of it. They're waiting, though. They want Jax to get activated. 25 seconds. They don't have the time for this to fully develop. They got to go. And that smoke as well makes life difficult. 20 seconds. If they're going to do something, Jax has got to do it now. And kill in on the smoke. There's the cleanup. They've wiped away the site, and now Jax comes to fruition. Someone better get that bomb. They've got no seconds to spare. It has to go down now. Just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. Not 1 second to spare. And Jax will put this map away. 3 massive kills for the new man in the team to put this game on his back and carry it through.
MOUZ are going to be distraught. They can't believe what's just happened. They shed 8 rounds in a row to let it slip to overtime. And in overtime itself, they look pretty flat. That last round was close as can be, but wow, I'm kind of